Carousel. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel. Carousel. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel Week 13 edition. We got a packed show tonight, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's start, since I do live in the Tampa Bay area, with the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl 55 all the way live. Fire them cannon Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 8-3. However, this week, they're facing a divisional opponent who at 5-6, if you can believe it, is actually in playoff contention. That's right. I am talking about them Atlanta Falcons. So I had to get my man, Joe Carlino, in here this evening to discuss that. Mr. Carlino, welcome back to the Carousel. How are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent tonight, Eric. I appreciate you very much for the opportunity to join the legend Alex's show.
So let's talk about this, man. I mean, you're 5-6. You're in the playoff hunt. First off, how are you feeling about this?
Do I have a reasonable answer to give you? No.
Okay.
Because I didn't see it coming.
All right. Listen, none of us saw it coming. So the fact that you, in fact, are in the playoff hunt should speak to the fact that as much as I don't like him, and I think he's, in my opinion, pretty much washed up, Matt Ryan is still getting it done. And he's doing it with guys like Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson, Russell Gage, Calvin Ridley. I mean, I'm just looking at this and I'm saying to myself, huh? How? Who? But you won last week against Jacksonville, but we know what Jacksonville is. But now you are facing the Super Bowl champions, who are coming to you, by the way. And this is the second time. So this is the rematch, if you will. Give me your expectation for this game on Sunday.
So I mean, looking at it, I mean, let's be real. Sunday, it was the Jaguars. I'm not even going to say, oh, hey, great. I mean, yes, a win's a win, no matter how ugly it is. If we remember, though, in week 2, Tampa went up and down the field on us, essentially, but they couldn't get AJ Terrell. I still can't figure out how he's. I mean, I understand that he's a good cornerback and everything, but they couldn't defeat him. Brady gets strip sacked, and we're only down by 3 before Matt Ryan throws 2 ghastly interceptions that were pick sixes later. And as we now know, Antonio Brown was already going to be out with the ankle injury. Now he's out because of the fake COVID card. And not only him, but Mike Edwards, who is the guy who got those 2 pick sixes, is also out because of the fake COVID cards. So that adds to Tampa's already porous secondary. But then you combine that with the incredibly stout run defense, and it's like, what exactly can Atlanta do? Because we don't have Ridley right now, who is taking time for his health, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But we can't separate, and it's just the only thing that really shocked me was what happened today. I believe I told you about Secret Base's 7-part series on the Falcons, correct, sir?
You did. We have talked about that. Yep.
They actually posted today that, if you can believe it, the Atlanta Falcons defense entering week 13 is the only defense to not have given up a play of 40 or more yards.
Hold on. Say that again for the people in the back, because I didn't even believe that one. I need you to say that again, sir.
The Atlanta Falcons entering week 13 have not given up a play of 40 or more yards on defense.
And that's just bulletin board material for Brady to find Evans or Godwin or Gronk or somebody to basically shut that down. But talk to me about that defense. Talk to me about Dante Fowler and, of course, A.J. Terrell, Deion Jones, and just what they can maybe do against Tampa on Sunday from a defensive standpoint.
From a defensive standpoint, I mean, it's hard to say that there's a defensive scheme, setup, twitch that Tom Brady hasn't seen. I'll admit that every day of the week. So I don't know what Dean Pease is cooking up in his laboratory that will be able to stump Brady, at least this time around. Now, do I think Fowler's going to get another strip sack? Maybe. I mean, he did beat Donovan Smith. I'll be honest with you. He beat Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith is not like Tristan Wirfs. Wirfs is much better than him. I'll say that every day of the week. I'll go to my grave on that claim. But Fowler needs. I will say he has done well. He was coming back off the knee injury. We're getting Steven Means back, so I mean we got a little bit of the rotation back. Deion Jones was a late scratch on Sunday, so it's like you get Patterson back, who's doing everything at the cost of Deion Jones. But then again, it was Jacksonville, and now you and I can also agree on this. We're from Florida. We are in Florida. It was just perfect for a Florida team to win a score by the score of 6-9, wasn't it? it just screamed Florida team. It just did.
Listen, I can't argue that point. Joe, really quick, give me your X factor for Sunday's game, and then, give me a final score.
X factor will be every Atlanta Falcons wide receiver and Kyle Pitts versus the Bucs secondary, because I don't think Murphy Bunting is there. I don't think Jamel Dean's going to play. We know Edwards isn't going to play. So this is like Russell Gage's real game. And maybe Tajay Sharp, maybe Matt Ryan finds Kyle Pitts. The Philly connection and all that, because the interception he had against Jacksonville, it was a good play. It was a good design to Pitts, but Ryan just didn't see Tyson Campbell shadow and do bracket coverage. So it was a good pick by Campbell, but it was also a good play by Ryan. So it's like one of those like 50-50 balls.
All right, give me your final score.
Tampa 31, Atlanta 25.
Oh, not going with the heart, but going with the head. My man, Joe Carlino, ATB, Blogging Dirty. Make sure you check him out. Joe, I appreciate your time tonight, my brother. Happy holidays, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, sir. Thank you very much again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it moving here. So let's get to the Thursday night matchup. And as much as I love and respect this woman, I am seriously tired of seeing her fight, claw, scratch, and scrape in support of a team that is the walking piece of mediocrity that is the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care if they're atop the NFC East. But with that being said, let me get in our Queen of Hoops, 806 Sports, and Miss Megan Price. Megan, I love the tree. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Hate the shirt.
Not the number 4 shirt,
No, sorry. The blue looks good on you. I will say that.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about your team, because you're going to New Orleans. You're in New Orleans. It's tonight. It's the Caesars Superdome. Oh, we talked about it last night. Shameless plug. Well, you did on the Sports Arena, just about your expectation for Dallas. But for those who didn't get a chance to hear you last night, remind the people the importance of this game and the importance of Dallas winning this game.
It's very important that we win this game. Washington is a couple of games back, and they're on a 3-game win streak. Philly is also a couple of games back. So, if we lose this game, I think we not only set the tone, and we've already been losing the last 3 games. So if we continue down that, I think it's really just going to hurt team morale. Once you get into that flow, you've already lost 3 games, and you lose this game to New Orleans, who really don't have much going on quarterback wise. Now that defense is for real. So, I'm a little concerned about that. But, you know, and Taysom Hill he's going to be the starting quarterback for New Orleans this week. But, I mean, he's just basically a game manager. I don't think he's just a standout quarterback, but he knows that offense. So, you know, I think it's definitely going to be a different team than we saw against the Bills with New Orleans. But, I mean, New Orleans is at home. They've lost at home already. Are they going to lose two at home again? But I think the big storyline this week is going to be the injury report, not only for my team, but for their team as well. Kamara is out. We don't have a coach. I mean, I guess we got McAdoo, who's going to be on the field. If he can run the clock better than Mike McCarthy, hire the man. Because Kellen Moore's still going to be calling the plays. But I would really like to get rid of Mike McCarthy. If we do really well in this game without McCarthy, I think it speaks to a lot of we really don't need him to be there. I mean, basically all he does is manage the clock, and he messes that up sometimes. And even the 4th and 1 type of situations, he's messed up a few of those as well. But the big news is we're going to see CeeDee Lamb back, who was on concussion protocol last week. We're going to have one of the best receivers in the league and Amari Cooper coming back. He is one of the best. Come on.
$100 million walking piece of me. I'm sorry.
No. He's not a walking piece of mediocrity.
He's
You could say that about
Megan.
a few other players.
Megan.
But Coop's not the one.
I would much rather take CeeDee Lamb. I would much rather take Tony Pollard.
Well, if that's the case, did you not see CeeDee Lamb in the game against the Chiefs where he got the concussion? Like, our offense looked. Hey, Dom, I did not say he was the best. I said he's one of the best in the league. Sorry, I saw that comment. He's one of the best. Yes, I absolutely believe he is one of the best. And you saw how our offense was affected when we didn't have Coop, but we still had CeeDee Lamb on the field. So I think it's really important that we have majority of our receiver core back to normal. I don't think we're going to see Cedric Wilson this game, but big news on the defensive side. We're going to have D-Law and Randy Gregory back. And then next week, we'll have Gallimore back. So we're going to start to see our team at full force over the next couple of weeks. No sound, Eric.
I didn't want to say anything unprofessional. That's why I muted my damn self. But let me keep it 100. I cheer against your team each and every week. I hope you lose tonight. If you don't lose tonight, because you should essentially beat this team, it's not going to hurt my feelings. But it's, as I said to you before, Dallas has to have a truly winning record, because when you start the decline, you never seem to pick yourself back up. And losing the 3 out of your last 4, it just is like, okay, everything's starting to fall into place for me. It really is.
It does seem to be our storyline in the second half of the season. So, I can't dispute that. I am nervous about this game, but I think we're going to be okay. I do think it's going to be a competitive game. Taysom Hill is a capable game manager. So,
and it's Sean Payton, so you never count that
out. It is Sean Payton, absolutely. I'm not like a disbeliever in Sean Payton. I don't think it was all just Drew Brees. I definitely believe in Sean Payton. So absolutely. I mean, the same way with my basketball team, as long as you have Pop, there's still a chance. And I kind of feel that way about New Orleans, but they don't have Kamara. So that offense doesn't scare me as much as that defense, because the defense is, let me look here. They're first in their rush defense right now. Like they're only allowing 3.4 yards per carry, which is first in the NFL. And then they're only allowing 91.9 yards per game. And that's third in the league. So
okay, I'm done talking with you about your Cowboys, Megan. Okay. Much love to you. You got to go watch your game. Go have fun. I hope you lose, but everybody knows who this is. Megan Price, 806, a sip-off, Dallas Wings journalist. Phenomenal work. Love her to death. Happy holidays. I'll see you Monday.
All right. See you Monday.
All right. So I'm going to transition really quick because I got to get my man in here out there in the Phoenix area talking about the first place NFC 9-2 Arizona Cardinals. This is my brother, Mike Carousel in the building. I think he's mad at me. I'm talking bad about Dallas. Mike, I can't see you.
Okay.
Blinded by the light? I don't know. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
I don't know why. My camera's on. I know, me and technology aren't best friends, but...
Did you break your camera?
Let's see.
I don't know. We're gonna take a quick 20 seconds. We'll be right back.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
All right, there he is. Mike
There I
Carrotinoodle
see.
back in with me. Mike,
I had to give you a hard time for saying those bad things about America's best team ever, but that's okay. I understand. You're good.
haven't been relevant since 1994. Anyhow,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, Mike Carrotinoodle talking about the Arizona Cardinals 9-2. Mike, you're heading to Soldier Field to face the 4-7 Chicago Bears, man. Talk to me about this matchup.
yeah, it's interesting that kind of DeAndre Hopkins posted an awesome Instagram picture today saying "back at the grind." I know that's your boy. I know you love Nuke too. So, a lot of people are saying maybe they should take another week. They're 9-2. Look, they're playing for a number 1 seed. They gifted the Packers that game. You know how I feel about that. But look, Kyler Murray's been practicing, and that's another thing they were saying. Maybe they should give Murray another week. Dude, if he's ready to go, play him. If Colt McCoy has to come in, if it's a slow start or maybe during warm-ups it's cold there, I have no problem with Colt McCoy coming in. The Bears, we know they're going to play defense, but you look at the Cardinals, injury-wise, they're getting healthier. Chase Edmonds is still out, but, man, the touchdown machine, James Conner, is in the backfield. And, look, A.J. Green feels responsible, he feels he has a lot to make up for. He's played phenomenal. One play isn't going to define his season. But, yeah, the injury report's a little interesting, my friend. But we'll see. All arrows are pointing to Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins both playing.
And if that happens and they're both in Soldier Field in December, I only am concerned because of the weather. That's my only concern.
Right.
But because it's their first game back, and I want to make sure that these boys are ready because this is the gut check time for them to keep the momentum going and making sure they solidify themselves and get that number 1 seed. Like you, I'm a huge Nook fan. That, in my opinion, he is the best wide receiver in the league today in DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray is up and coming, and that brother just keeps getting better and better. Not to mention, screw you, Howie Roseman. You sent my favorite tight end to Arizona, just making him.
I didn't even want to mention him. I was being in the holiday spirit. I wasn't mentioning yours.
It's fine. I have to accept it. But, okay, so let me ask you this really quick. Do we know what J.J. Watt's status looks like?
As of now, they're saying, he's out. I don't know if I think he's going to, he was in Seattle, a shorter trip.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he'll always be traveling with the team. So, he's that kind of leader. But like I said, I think, they're just leaving it out. They said he could be back for the playoffs. And like we've talked about it now, they get the number 1 seed, the extra regular season week, the extra week with the bye. Again, he doesn't have to play 40 snaps. He can play 20, 25 and still be as effective as you and I both know. So, he's a little bit out, but again, that would be a playoff Christmas present for all Cardinals fans here.
Very true. Mike, appreciate your time, brother. I'm going to holler at you over the weekend, man.
Absolutely.
Be good.
And hey, by the way, go Cowboys tonight.
Yeah, whatever. Go Saints. I had to get him out of here. I can't stand that. I'm sorry. Love the brother to death, though. Real talk. But let me go ahead and get another guy in here. This is our Cincinnati rep because Cincinnati, ladies and gentlemen, if you can believe this, which you probably can because it's the regular season, not the postseason. Cincinnati Bengals, 7-4, doing very well for themselves in the AFC North, a division that is very much convoluted between wins and losses between those 4 teams. So I'm very interested to see what my man from VESN Sports has to say about his Cincinnati Bengals as they host the Los Angeles Chargers. Welcome in, my man, VJ. How are you, sir?
Mr. Eric Wilson, how you doing, brother? Thanks for having me, man. Happy holidays to you and everybody out there.
My brother, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel, and happy holidays to you and your family as well. So talk to me about this because you gentlemen, your Cincinnati Bengals, put on a show last week against an AFC North opponent in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I was not expecting to see that much of a lopsided game. What was your impression of your Cincinnati Bengals after watching that game?
Well, they did what they needed to do because they took a rear end whooping when they went out some of these other games within the last 5 weeks. They haven't been winning games. The last time I was on your illustrious show, the Carousel, they were going into that Cleveland game, and we gave them a shot to win that game, and they hiccup on themselves and used the bathroom on their pants 3 or 4 times that day. So they needed to bounce back, and that's what they did. That's what you have to do in football, in this great sport right here, the pigskin. You can't lay down. You got more games to play. You got to suit up and play. They got back to the basics of football. I always say with the basics of football, it's very, very easy. Run the football, stop the run, don't turn the ball over, don't commit stupid penalties. You'll win 68% of your football games. And that's what they got to the point of back doing. Joe Mixon, everything starts with running the football. You have a really good offensive line. And you have Burrow and you got Chase. And Chase is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver, but you got to give the ball to Joe Mixon, and it showed. I think they got back to the basics there.
Okay. So sticking along those lines, like I said, this is a team that during the regular season, I expect them to do well. Mm-hmm. I need you to be unbiased for a minute.
Okay.
Should your team be successful, are they getting out of the first round of the playoffs?
Oh, man, unbiased, and are they getting out of the first round of the playoffs? That's almost kind of like an oxymoron, man. I'm not sure I can be unbiased and answer that without being a little biased. It depends on who they play, right? Football's about matchups, so it's really going to depend on who they play and how they finish up. The way their schedule finishes up, I got it right here. Chargers, Niners, Broncos, Chiefs, Browns. So all AFC, one NFC team that's going to go to Seattle this weekend and probably beat up on the Seahawks, and that's the Niners. But everybody else is in the NFC, and everybody else is fighting for a playoff position. So I would say no right now, only because in football so great, no one comes out of nowhere and wins it, right? Young teams don't win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It's got to have some veterans there, got to have some veteran coaches. This ain't the NBA where you could just put the top 3 of 10 players on one team and then go win 2 championships out of 4. You know what I'm saying? So right. I would say no. I do think they make the playoffs here. Something else about Cincinnati's team, man. They're 7-4, but this is about as even as a team as you can get. Right now, third down percentage, 40%, opponent, 41%. Interceptions, 12 for them, 11 for the opponents. Fumbles, 10 for them, 11 for the opponents. -1 in the turnover ratio. They don't have a lot of room for margin for error because that's how even the Bengals and their opponents have been. They have to play error-free football and non-stupid penalty football to even get to the playoffs, which I think they will do, but I think they'll probably lose because they don't have enough experience and enough veterans to win that playoff game.
Wow, that's deep. I tip my hat to you, sir, because that is deep right there. So give me a prediction and give me your X factor for this game on Sunday.
Oh, my X factor the rest of the season is my man Joe Mixon. Run the football. Jamar Chase has started, I don't want to say hit a rookie wall, but in the NFL, the one thing about it that's different from high school or college is there's a lot of film. There's a lot of cameras, right? There's 100 NFL guys with brown vests on and cameras. So there's a lot of angles for teams to look at and a lot of footage for teams to look at and start to see what you do well and kind of take you out of that. In the last few weeks, they're kind of taking him out of that. And guys like T. Higgins are starting to kind of show back up a little bit when he was almost an afterthought. And Chase is going to be a guy. Chase is still going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. He's over at 900 right now, right? So he's still going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. But I think you got to get back to the basics, stick with Joe Mixon, run the football, don't turn the ball over, don't commit stupid penalties. The spread this week is 3. So I'll take that at home for them with the Chargers coming in. Chargers, they're right now, right? After a hot start, they go out to Baltimore. Baltimore 41-3. Baltimore hands it to them. And then they drop another game. And then they lose to the Patriots at home 21-16. And then they lose to the Broncos on the road. And the Broncos defense slapped them all over Mile High last week. So,
but it is an AFC West matchup. And I always say with divisional matchups, you throw the rule book out the window because these two teams, they play each other twice a year. So you learn about this team. And I don't care who's on the field for one or the other. The matchup, nothing is set in stone because anything is possible. I always say that with divisional matchups.
I don't have a beef with that, but tell that to the Detroit Lions, right? They play division games all the time and they keep losing them. So I don't want to, like I said, it's a cool saying. It's great on a football Christmas card, but at the end of the day, you still know your opponent. There's nothing new that the Chargers can do that they haven't seen, that the Bengals haven't seen. So I think they get this game, and then like I said, they got the Niners and Broncos, Chiefs, Browns, 3 AFC teams, 2 from their division, and we'll see how that ends up there. But I'll take them this week at home. I'll take the 3 points. Take the 3 points. Money line is about 170. I don't like that one, but I do like that 3. So I would take the Bengals and take the 3 home.
That's my man, VESN Sports, my man, Mr. VJ, brother. Always appreciate having you on Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel. Please stay blessed, and we will definitely catch up with you soon, my brother. Thank you.
That's right. Shout out to my new daughter that was born 3 weeks ago, man. My baby Journey. I always got to shout my kids out on my show.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome
pleasure.
to Team No Sleep, brother. I'm sure you
Yeah, I already been there, man. I run 3 radio shows.
My man. I'll holler at you. Thank you.
Bless, man. Peace.
So he brought up my next guest in kind of a dig, but I have to say, outside of myself, this is probably the most loyal fan I think I have ever met. Even though his team has not won a game. They tied, but they have not won a game yet. This is my man, Detroit Dom, in the building. Dom, what's going on, brother?
No wins, but guess what? And especially since our last guy brought up the money line and betting, Lions 8-3 against the spread.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, Dom, you're hosting one of my all-time favorite people, not Kirk Cousins, this weekend, coming to Ford Field to face you. Give me your outlook. We know that Dalvin Cook is out, so Alexander Mattison is stepping in at that running back position, but they still have Thielen. They still have Justin Jefferson. You're welcome, Minnesota, by the way. I will always say you're welcome, Minnesota. You better be thanking Philly for that pick.
Oh, you don't like Jalen Reagor?
Dom, I'm going to kick you off this show.
I'm glad you're laughing.
Oh, I had my rant on Monday night about Mr. Jalen Reagor, number 18. Him and I are going to have a few words if he keeps dropping passes that are clearly open your eyes and make like Hove catch the ball. But anyhow, say it about me. It's about you. I'm going to get to my team momentarily. Talk to me about this matchup.
Well, Cousins was the one you brought up first. He's quietly having, give that team 2 or 3 more wins. I think you got to put Kirk Cousins in the MVP discussions. Like his,
Nope.
it's Kirk Cousins. Like in the discussion, at least an afterthought. Dalvin Cook being hurt, that sounds good, but he was hurt the last time we played Minnesota, and Madison went for 153 total yards on us. Justin Jefferson went for $124, but 104 of those yards were in the first half. So the reason we kept it down to a 1-score game, kept it close, and lost on a field goal was mostly due to shutting down Justin Jefferson.
All right. So when you look at this matchup, though, I'm going to ask the question. Is this the week that the Detroit Lions get their first win?
And any one of these weeks could easily be. We've lost, 7 of our 10 games by 10 or less, several by 3. We tied a game. Minnesota's no great shakes. They weren't one of the ones I necessarily predicted, but Minnesota rarely sweeps us. Same with Chicago, although that's over and done with. We could beat Seattle. We could beat Denver. We could beat Atlanta. Like those couple, maybe 3 wins, I think are coming. At least 2. And if not, does it matter? It's a lost season.
Right now you're vying for. Right now you have the number 1 pick in next year's draft. Let's just call that what it is. Unless you find a way to start winning, then. But I like I said, you are probably one of the most, if not the most loyal fan I've ever met outside of myself when it comes to your team. Because sitting at 0-10-1, I don't even think I'd be showing up on shows or talking to people. I'd be like, yeah, tell me something I don't know about this team. And that's how I even feel about my team, Philadelphia, at 5-7. I'm like, tell me something I don't know about this team. But like you said, 7 games where you lost by less than 10 points. I'm just trying to understand.
The 0-16 season in 08. Same deal, 7-8 games. I said it at the beginning of the year. This team is long on heart and effort and short on talent. So we're going to lose a bunch of close games. And then, we had a debacle with our field goal kickers. And now our day 1 starter, Siebert, he's out for the year. So we're on our 3rd kicker, who is our 3rd choice. He's better than the big burrito, but.
Fair enough. Detroit Dom in the building, man. I appreciate your time as always, brother. Best of luck to you this Sunday. Just know that I'm pulling for you because I can't stand Kirk Cousins. So I hope y'all get your first win. I truly do.
Me too. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Anytime, brother. Thank you. So speaking of Philadelphia, because that is my team, and I have to use a disclaimer here. What I'm about to say cannot be held against me by anybody who currently resides in my household or is married to me. So I just need to get that out there. With that being said, I've got to welcome in my friend, Mr. Mark Lanzer. Mark, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Eric? Happy holidays to you and your family and all you other guys out there. Hey, you ready for Sunday, man? Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Listen, it's 3-8 versus 5-7. We lost to the Giants, a game that we should not have lost, and our reward for that is facing you. Now, what scares me is your defense, because Robert Salah, as your head coach, he is great on the defensive side of the ball. But I don't care if it's Zach Wilson, I don't care if it's Mike White, I don't care if it's Joe Flacco. Our defense is going to be enough to contain your quarterbacks.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. The last couple of weeks with the Jets offense, Mike LaFleur went from being on the sidelines up to press box. That's made a huge difference. The addition of, the trade, technically we got it for free because we got Dan Brown, the tight end that we traded to the Chiefs, in exchange for Dr. Duvernay Tardif. He's been awesome replacing Greg Van Roten, who I was calling Greg Van Rotten because he was just letting everybody in like a subway turnstile.
I can hear you on that one, and I do appreciate that perspective. But let me be honest with you. Jamison Crowder, Elijah Moore, these are receivers who aren't given enough credit. But on the flip side, I can say the same thing about the fact that, I have Devontae Smith, I have Dallas Goedert, I have Quez Watkins, and yes, unfortunately, I have Jalen Reagor, who needs to, just like I said, learn how to catch. But we are redeveloping that running back trio, if you will, with Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and then, of course, bringing back Jordan Howard. How does the Jets, or how do your Jets plan to contain the run game of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, what they're going to need to do is they're going to need to really just, they're going to have to put 7 guys down on the line. Another big addition that a lot of people aren't really talking about, Quincy Williams, Quinnen's brother. He's been fantastic ever since he came here. John Franklin Myers, a stud. That's a diamond in the rough kind of signing. The secondary, definitely, there's a lot that can be left to be desired. To be honest with you, I think that the Jets might be able to stop the run. The problem the Jets have had is stopping the screen pass. They have not been able to do that all season, Eric. All season, man. It's been, it's like getting teeth pulled, dude.
Sorry, I just had to unmute. I get it. So let me ask you a real quick question that I'm going to let you go, Mark. And again, I appreciate you joining me tonight here on Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel. Just give me your straight up prediction. It's me versus you, mano a mano. Who's winning this game and why?
Well, we both know the history between the Jets and the Eagles in the regular season. We owe you one, and it's finally going to happen. New York Jets 24, Philadelphia Eagles 21. The only reason why I'm saying that is Jalen Hurts, he's banged up. And if Zach Wilson can just go out there and do what he did last week, he doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. Just check down the ball. Just do anything, don't act like you need to do everything to win the game, because you don't. This is a team effort. He looked like a 22-year-old quarterback that was, that missed a month last week. Now that I think he's, back into his routine, he's getting healthy again, maybe he can get past all the mental stuff, and I think it's going to finally happen. I hope it does.
All right, fair enough. What I'm going to say to you is this. I look at this and we have to bounce back. If we want a shot at even contending for that last wild card spot, it has to start in the month of December. We have to win out. That's all that matters to me right now, is winning out. We have you, and then we go into divisional play between the Giants, Washington twice, and then, of course, we finish up with Dallas. So I'm sorry to say this to you, but the score that you put up last week against the Houston Texans, which, by the way, are god-awful, is going to be the same result, except it's going to be 21 Philadelphia, 14 Jets. Mark, I appreciate your time, my brother. Thank you so much for being on here. Happy holidays to you and your family. Stay blessed. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, Eric. And JET Yes, Jets. Best of luck on Sunday.
Fly, Eagles, fly, like I always say. All right, let me get to a serious debate right now going on, because these two gentlemen coming up next to Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel are two gentlemen who not only know each other very well, but their teams, if you can believe this, are roughly around that spot of what are they going to do? 1 week they're up, 1 week they're down. I have to welcome in first my man coming back to us again, Mr. It's a Football World, and we just live in it. John Turner representing the Washington football team, going up against, yes, sir, the man, the myth, the legend, my man, Phil Jones. Gentlemen, good evening, good evening, good evening. So we know how this goes. You each get 2 minutes to state your case as to why your team is going to be successful. And then after a very brief cooling off period, you will have a 45-second rebuttal. All right. So, Mr. Turner, since you are heading to Allegiant Stadium, aka the Death Star, you, sir, will be going first. Your 2 minutes begins right now.
Well, first of all, I just asked Mr. Jones, respect the show, turn your phone on silent for my 2 minutes, please. Here, stop getting dinged out here. Hey, look, you guys got one of the best passing games in the league. Your quarterback's throwing the ball all over the place. The Washington football team has not given up more than 235 yards passing in the last 3 weeks. That's including playing against the GOAT, Thomas Brady the first, with the man with 7 rings. Now, what I'd like to say that nobody else will mention, Jack Del Rio, our fantastic defensive coordinator out here, who's playing without Chase Young, who's playing without Montez Sweat. They got COVID. They got knees. They got everything you can please. And they're still playing defense right now. They've won 3 in a row. 3 out of their last 4. You guys have lost 3 out of their last 4. But let's talk about Del Rio not getting the fair shake out in Oakland at the time when he was their head coach. Now, little do people know, he grew up in Southern California, attended USC, and was a LA Raiders fan all throughout his growing up, high school, and college career. I mean, he wanted nothing more but to win a Super Bowl with the Raiders, the Autumn Wind themselves. And they let him go after 3 seasons. Matter of fact, I don't even know if they let him finish his 3rd season. I can't quite remember. 15 to 17, I think was his stretch. This game probably means more to him than anybody on either roster. Okay. And I think a guy like if Jay Gruden was still with the franchise, he would remember something like that. But Jay Gruden has gone, and your squad, I'm sorry, because your team, the Raiders are my 2nd favorite team in the entire National Football League. They are my squad junior with the Baltimore Ravens after the Washington football team. But I think that ever since the drama has occurred in Vegas, you guys have had just one hit after another. And Lord knows you guys are going to want to pass it around. You can't run it on us. We 3rd in running defense in Washington. You're going to have to depend on that pass. We got some ball hawks for that ass. I'm going to call time.
Mr. Jones, your 2 minutes, sir.
But was that your whole case? Well, first off, let me start by saying, wow, not bad. Jack Del Rio is about as consistent as getting potholes filled in D.C. So we already know where that is. Second, this defense has been up and down as well. Your pass defense, I still feel there are too many holes. After watching that Monday Night Football game, let me give you the Hanson hand from Scary Movies 2, Russell Wilson still managed to throw a touchdown on you by gashing right in between that coverage. Come on. If my boy Derek Carr sees that, you got Deshaun, you got Mr. Let me do the moonwalk Zay Jones. You can't underestimate any of my other guys. I know everybody's going to say, well, Waller's this, Waller may not do. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is this. We might end up it looks like we're going to end up exposing your run game. Because for some weird reason, if I tend to talk loud on Twitter, someone from the Raiders branch is always hearing me. And you know what? I notice the things that pop up in the game because I said it that week. So maybe I might be the voice of Raider Nation because damn, every time my prayers are answered. But your Washington team, you think Mr. Heineke's going to do what he did? I don't think so. With a team like ours, we're having our boy from the DMV, Mr. Yannick Ngakwe, and then you got Mad Max Crosby coming in. He ain't got nowhere to do that shimmy and shake. He gonna get stomped in the mud. Let's believe that, sir. I do love the Len Bias jersey, man. You need to get me one.
Yes, shout out to Mr. John Turner, always bringing not only the knowledge but also bringing the swag. So,
love it. I love it, man.
Gentlemen, you each get 45 seconds, and I'm just gonna let y'all do your thing, please. Mr. Turner and then Mr. Jones, you will have the final word.
First of all, Jersey John, Uptown DC can get you all the jerseys you need. Let me dig up an old phone number for that man right there, and I'm going to hook you right on up. He gives me all my classics. Even got me the Willie Beeman, baby. But look, I think Taylor Heineke is playing like a guy that carries his nuts around in a wheelbarrow, okay? He gives no Fs. He's got a 2-year contract. He's looking to get paid again. He don't want to go back to the XFL in 2023. He's saying, F that. I'm Washington football team's quarterback. This is how we do. I got terrific Terry McLaurin. I got Beetlejuice in the backfield, and we are going to let the good times roll. I got a shootout. Last team get the ball, win this game.
I give you that one, but I tell you this right here. Forget your boy McLaurin, because my boy who is arguably one of the best corners in the NFL, Casey Hayward, going to shut that down right off the bat. And Beetlejuice, I thought Beetlejuice was the Chargers because that's Jared Cook. All right, let's all remember that, because that got the Beetlejuice face. Your boy going to get shut down on the outside run. Mad Max going to sling him to the sideline. I do see it coming down to a close game, but at the end of the day, the guy that says, I'm Joel Osteen 2.0 is going to get the job done. Long hair, Derek Carr, Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a classic NFL carousel debate. My man John Turner, it's a football world and we just live in it. And the White House's own Mr. Phil Jones. I'm just saying. Gentlemen, much love. Happy holidays. Thank you both. I'll see you guys really soon.
Love you both. Thanks for having
Love
me.
you guys.
Thank you.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel. This the carousel. On or you off. If you're on or you're off. If you're on or you're off.
What?
Knock 'em out. Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. If you're on or you're off. If you're on or you're off.
What?
Knock 'em out.
Ooh, I needed a break from that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need to have a conversation with a certain playmaker because I have strong feelings about his Los Angeles Rams. Now listen, we know what Aaron Rodgers is capable of, and we saw that on display last week as the Green Bay Packers beat up on the Los Angeles Rams. And I know the score was 36-28, but trust me, it was a lot worse than that if you actually watch that game. But the Los Angeles Rams, a team that when you have such names as Cooper Kupp, and you have names as Odell Beckham Jr., and you have names as Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, and you're losing? We need to have a conversation. Let me get the playmaker in the building. Playmaker.
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How are you? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, man.
So I need to talk to you, my brother.
Let's
because
talk.
your Rams, you know, they're not holding their own right now, man. What's going on?
Man, I have a quarterback who's throwing pick sixes in every game. If you look at it,
okay,
he threw a pick six against Tennessee, put
him.
us down double digits. He threw a pick six against San Francisco, put us down 14.
Preach.
He threw a pick six Sunday, put us down 19.
Preach.
I don't care how good of a quarterback you are.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing a pick six hurts the team. Now my defense is not doing good because Raheem Morris decides to put my secondary in zone all the damn time. You don't play zone against a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers.
Say it again so Raheem can hear you.
So Raheem Morris, I need you. Oh, I'm pretty sure you heard me because I'm gonna talk about this on Raymond Talk so many times. This is ridiculous. I don't know if you heard the episode that I actually went off on the Rams. I literally went off.
I gotta replay that one. We're gonna make sure we replay that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So is like I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't surprised that we lost in Green Bay. I actually picked Green Bay to win in the preseason because it's in Lambeau Field. It's in late November going into December. We know what type of temperature is going to be up in Green Bay. So, well, I had a feeling we was going to lose. I wanted to see how we played, though. And we played the same way before we went to the bye week as we did. I need Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford to stop trying to validate what everybody's calling them. We already know this. When Sean McVay took the Rams to the Super Bowl, we was tops in the running game. And then tops in the pass. So you ain't know which one to take. Now he got Matthew Stafford. Everybody know. He's not gonna really run that much. Let's make sure we defend the pass and let our front seven handle the run, and we good. That's a problem. I have a secondary who's confused, who don't know how to line up. My D line, when's the last time you had a D line full of names of Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and Leonard Floyd? Neither one of them touch Aaron Rodgers. You know who got it? That's the one person who got the second Aaron Rodgers named Grant Gaines. Nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows who Grant Gaines is.
Nope.
Von Miller didn't touch Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Donald didn't touch Aaron Rodgers. Leonard Floyd didn't even touch Aaron Rodgers. Now, I will bring some Ramley talk to this point.
Okay.
This week is the week to get right. If they don't get right this week, we're in trouble because I already said it. And I'm saying it for both LA teams. I'm gonna give you a double dose. The pressure of the Super Bowl being in LA is starting to come upon the Chargers and the Rams. What did we say about the Rams before they went to Tennessee? This team looking good.
Yeah.
They had their hook up against Arizona, but hey, it's a divisional game. Arizona got tired of the losing.
Thank you.
They got tired of losing to the Rams, so they got one.
Right.
Okay. It's all good. You bounce back and you go to Seattle and you handle business on Thursday night, which is a hard place to do when a primetime game up there, but you handle the business.
That's exactly it. You right.
And then all of a sudden, you get to Tennessee comes in on Sunday night, beats you down without Derrick Henry, by the way. You go to San Fran, which is like the opposite of the Cardinals. San Fran owns us. They still own us because you know what they do? Oh, we're just going to run the ball. We already know we can run the ball. Play physical. Two teams that's physical. Green Bay. Weren't really that physical because they really didn't do much on the run game. But when you play Aaron Rodgers and you playing zone and you got, to me, the best receiver in the league. I know y'all like DeAndre Hopkins, but to me, the best receiver in the league is Devontae Adams.
That's arguable, but we'll say that conversation for another time.
He can get 8 catches for 100 yards and nobody realizes it. That's how good he is.
Fair enough. Playmaker, you got to give me a score for this game, brother. We could talk all night about this, but I got to get the rest of the crew in here. Give me a final score as y'all get right. This is the get right game for the Los Angeles Rams as they face the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Rams should win this game 38-13.
Ooh, 25. 25.
I'm sorry, but Trevor Lawrence has only thrown 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
25. Okay. From your lips to God's ears, my brother. Playmaker, let the people know where they can find you really quick, my brother.
You can find me on Ramley Talk on all podcasting platforms. You can find me on Arch Rivals, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I'm here 3 days out the week.
My brother, much love to you. I'm going to talk to you really soon. And, man, get right so we can talk about playoffs. Let's talk about the big game, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Holla at me. So let me get another two gentlemen in here so they understand and know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another debate, and we are heading to the AFC North. Now, I'm going to say this to you. The two gentlemen who I am bringing on right now, one is a teenage phenom in Daniel Baquetigo, but his Pittsburgh Steelers ain't living up to the expectation that we thought they could be. The other gentleman is my man, Sideline Sports, Cardiac Kane, Fin Fanatic, 1340 AM. He just does it all up there in that DC Gettysburg area. So please help me welcome in the 8-3 Baltimore Ravens representative, Mr. John Shear, and like I said, the teenage phenom, Daniel Baquetigo, who is the reason that Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel is an international show. Gentlemen, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. You both know what time it is. You each get 2 minutes to state your case. After a brief cooling off period, there will be a 45-second rebuttal. John Shear, you, sir, are heading to Heinz Field, so you will go first. Your 2 minutes, my brother, begins right now.
I think you're muted.
John, you're muted.
Let's start that timer. Okay.
Okay, start the timer over again. Go ahead.
You know where I got this ball, Daniel? I got this in Canton in August. After I met Mel Blount. You're too young to know who Mel Blount is. However, he's a Hall of Famer, unlike Hines Ward, who's not a Hall of Famer. But we're going to talk about what's going on right now. So I've got, I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a bowl of noodles. Now, ask me why. Why, John? Well, why do I have a bowl of noodles? Represents Ben Roethlisberger. This bowl of noodles is kind of like Ben Roethlisberger. You know, weak, stringy. It's not very strong, not very reliable. Doesn't taste very good. Why do I have it? I have no idea why. It's like Ben Roethlisberger. No idea why he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. I get his history, but my gosh, did you watch the Bengals game? Did you watch how bad he was? Did you watch how weak that arm is? I called it last year when you were 11-0. Nobody believed me. I said noodle arm. I said Ben Roethlisberger's noodle arm, lack of running game. That will cost them. This year, what's happening? The weather's getting cold. Noodle arm can't throw anymore, and your receivers aren't that good. And I told you this earlier in the season. I mean, there's a reason Baltimore's leading the division, and you tied the Detroit Lions, and you lost to the Bengals in the first quarter. Wasn't even over. It's first quarter, they blew you out. Game over. Like, how do you think you're going to stop Lamar Jackson? TJ Watt, is on the COVID list, so he probably isn't going to play. I mean, so your TJ Watt jersey, you might want to change jerseys, because that's irrelevant. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, you tied the Detroit Lions. My Miami Dolphins are coming for you guys. We're going to jump you soon in the standings. I mean, good, I'm jumping to the Dolphins. They're going to jump you, let alone the Ravens. I mean, you're not even close to the Bengals who just blew you out. I mean, they're way above you, and we, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's enough, Eric. Cut the cord. I mean, there's not much else I can say to this guy. I mean, I got my noodles. I got, a ball that Ben Roethlisberger can't throw. I got this when I was with Mel Blount, who is a Hall of Famer.
All right.
Heinz Ward is not.
We get it. We get it. Daniel, please remind John Shear why you are the international phenom. Your 2 minutes, sir, starts now.
I'm gonna start this off with saying the Steelers are done. I don't want to continue winning. I don't want to continue. We're done. We want to get Evan Neal. We want to get a new offensive line. We want to revamp this team. We want to get rid of Ben Roethlisberger. We want to get rid of maybe Mike Tomlin. I don't know. We're going crazy in Pittsburgh. But the Steelers are dysfunctional right now. The coaching staff is garbage. The playmaking has been garbage. Ben Roethlisberger has been garbage. The offensive line is garbage. The defense is garbage. Everyone is garbage. But I think we have a shot at stealing, just like how we did with the Chargers. We almost stole that game away. We were down by almost 17 in the fourth quarter. We came back. Ben Roethlisberger has a noodle arm. I can agree with you. We need a new quarterback. He's aging. He's not the guy for the future. We need to move on. Ben Roethlisberger is probably the greatest quarterback in Steelers history. I don't care if Teddy Bradshaw is, but probably Ben is. But we need to move on. We cannot keep on living in the past because Ben is aging. He's gonna turn 40 in a few years now, and I think we really need to move forward. We need a new quarterback. We need a new offensive line. Let's tank. The season is over. We're not gonna win against the Chiefs. We're not gonna win against The Ravens, we're not going to win. We have the toughest schedule to end the season. I don't think it's worth to try and get a couple of wins. Mike Tomlin's job may be in jeopardy. He should have taken the USC job. If we're being honest, he could have had more money there. But the Steelers are done. We have nothing to show for it. But this week we might have a chance to steal this game, because divisional games are always questionable. You don't know who's winning divisional games, and I think a chance to steal will be in play this weekend.
I don't even know what to say. Ladies and gentlemen, this was supposed to be a debate, but Daniel has come on here and given his Pittsburgh Steelers, he has sent the lamb to the slaughter.
White flag, baby. It's
wow. John Shear didn't even.
What else do I say? He said everything that I could say. He took it from me. I mean, you took my thunder.
There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing. This is why he is. This is why he is the international phenom.
Made it
because
not fun for me.
Daniel will pull the rug out from underneath you, and just when you think you know what this young man is gonna say, he switches the game up on you.
I have to counter something he said, because it's absolutely absurd.
Please.
Anybody that thinks that Mike Tomlin should not be the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's a reason they've only had, 3 coaches in the history of the organization, 4 coaches. So there's a reason for that. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. He went 8-8 with Duck Hodges. So come on, don't do that to Mike Tomlin, because he's been absolutely amazing. Everything you could ask for and more out of a coach. He's going to the Hall of Fame one day, right there with Bill Cowher. He's going to be right there as soon as his 5 years are up, or however they do it for the coaches. So I would never knock Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has been everything. I mean, he replaced Bill Cowher and fit right in perfectly, and he's been nothing but won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, come on, how can you? He took him to 3. You replaced Bill Cowher and you did what you did. I can never knock Mike Tomlin. Anybody that ever thinks that he should be out of a position in Pittsburgh needs to be drug tested.
Amen. Amen to that. Gentlemen, I'm going to let you go because I've got one more gentleman that I've got to bring in here tonight. But thank you both. Daniel Barquetigo, the greatest football debate room on Facebook. I think I probably said that wrong, so please correct me. But John Shear's got a laundry list of shows and is one of the men who make Sideline Sports Network go. So, gentlemen, thank you both so much for being on Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel tonight. I will definitely talk to y'all both really soon. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'm giving John the mic now. Let's pass the mic. Let me get my last guy in here tonight, because this young man, we haven't seen him in a while. And while he hasn't been on the show, his team is 1 game back from the Kansas City Chiefs and could actually set the course for them making it to the postseason, if you can believe that. So please help me welcome in my man, Denver Bronco representative, Jordan Long. Jordan, welcome back to Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel, my brother. How have you been?
I've been good. Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays, my brother. Please enlighten me and the rest of the audience here. How is Teddy Two Glove, Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Eric Saubert, how are they getting this done? And more importantly than that, how are they going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday night, when the lights are bright in Arrowhead, for a chance to be atop the AFC? I mean, make sense of this for me, please.
Sure. Well, of course, we know we have not beaten Kansas City in 11 games in the series, but hey, you know what? We have a chance to be in first place. That's all you could ask for. What we have done in the last 2 wins versus the Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers, run the football. We ran it 41 times against the Dallas Cowboys. So that didn't allow Dak Prescott or that high-powered offense on the field. Of course, against the Chargers 33 times, didn't let Justin Herbert onto the field. So how do you beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Run the football. If you run the football, that takes the pressure off of Teddy Bridgewater to do what he needs to do in terms of the passing game. It'll open up the passing game. It'll free up Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton to be open, as well as Noah Fant. And we know Kansas City is going to blitz. And when they blitz, screens. Give it to Noah Fant or Javonte Williams or Melvin Gordon, because we know an aggressive defense is gonna try to get to Teddy Bridgewater. That's going to leave screens open. Of course, Pat Shurmur, who knows with his coaching ability if he's going to do that. Plus, we cannot get away from the running game.
Jordan, I look at this and I'm looking at the rest of your schedule after this Sunday. You are home to Detroit. You're home to Cincinnati. You go to Vegas. You go to the Chargers. And then Kansas City. You end the season with Kansas City, but you end with them in Mile High. Are the Denver Broncos going to be the AFC West divisional champs?
I would love to say so, but these divisional games, like you just said, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Oakland Raiders, the Kansas City Chiefs twice, we're in a position to actually go ahead and win the AFC West. Will we? I think it depends on which team shows up. We saw against Dallas, great running game. Of Philadelphia, we went away from the running game. It just depends on what game plan we have for most of these teams. It's running the football is going to be the best success for us. But the fact of the matter is also our defense has to show up too. We played really well against the Chargers, especially with their passing game. We didn't let Justin Herbert do what he needs to do, and that's what we have to do against Patrick Mahomes. I know it's a different animal. They have Travis Kelce. That is really the one guy that I'm afraid of, just because we don't really have a guy on that defense to match up against him. But all these games are good. And they definitely go a long way to determining our fate, especially if we want to make the playoffs for the first time since we won Super Bowl 50.
Who's your X factor in this matchup coming up on Sunday?
It's really, can you stop Patrick Mahomes? We know that he's going to be able to throw a football. Can you limit his ability by pressuring him, going up the middle, not letting him get to Travis Kelce? And then another X factor is the punting game. The punting game, especially if we can limit them inside the 20 and have a long field to go, it's going to go a long ways for us to get pretty good field position.
Jordan Long at Sports Scoop 1 right there. Make sure you follow him. Jordan, thank you so much for being here tonight, man. Brother, I appreciate it. Happy holidays, and I will definitely talk to you soon.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it.
So, yeah, as you know, I had to save the best for last. This is my brother, and I'm so glad he's joining us back here on Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel, because they are still my team. Let me be very clear when I say this, to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. And that is the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. But for some unknown, godforsaken reason, Bill Belichick, Josh Daniels, and Mac Jones are atop the AFC East right now. So let me get Wolfo Sports' own Mookie Hawkins in the building. Mookie, good evening, sir.
What's good? What's good?
So let me ask you a question to start the evening off tonight. Are you impressed by what you've seen from New England thus far?
I was impressed more last year than I was this year. I mean, last year what Bill Belichick had, post Tom Brady and what he was able to do with it, they were still able to compete at a high level. I was more overall impressed with what he did last year. I mean, this year, basically with majority of his guys coming back from opting out off of COVID, and the emergence of Mac Jones was pretty much like the last piece of that puzzle. I mean, they don't bring in no big namesake guys. I mean, last namesake guy they brought in was Randy Moss, and we all know what happened. That to that. But the bringing of Mac Jones, I think, was the last piece of that puzzle. I mean, replacing Tom Brady. So, I mean, expect to see Mac Jones in the New England uniform for the next 20.
Okay, Mookie, Devin Singletary only has 459 yards this year. What's going on? When I look at Buffalo, I expect this to be a run-heavy offense. What has changed? What has transpired?
Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, $258 million. That's what pretty much changed that run game. But you still need the run game to win a Super Bowl. You need some sort of run game. And the Bills just hasn't, been running the ball successfully, going back to last year. I think they're in the middle of a scheme deal where they're trying to be a zone run team, an outside zone run team, and you don't have the athleticism up front to make that happen. Now, mind you, Matthew Breida, he's been playing solid as of late, but still, it hasn't been like a 100-yard game from a running back, So we know more or less that this thing is going to go in the air, and it's going to be probably like 70-30 pass or 30% run. But as late, that 30% has been, proven to be the factor in the Bills' last 2 wins. When you really look at, they lost to Jacksonville, and they got their ass beat against Indy. But those 2 wins, Jets and the Saints, you saw them, be effective in the run game, and then you saw them use run action as a pivotal component on third down. So, maybe that can carry over until Monday night, because they do have to establish some sort of run game to get going. Just to keep teams off of you playing cover 3 shell all the time, forcing Josh to make a decision that he doesn't want to make. But I guess that's just the pros and cons of it, So teams are going to back off and play that cover 2 shell and pray that Josh makes mistakes. He's been making some mistakes, but he's been making, he's been making plays more than he's been making mistakes.
Mookie, when I look at this schedule, and you've got him twice, so I need to know from you, and I don't need the politically correct Mookie Hawkins right now, okay? I need the real deal, nitty-gritty, raw dog Mookie Hawkins. Talk to me about this team, because y'all are my pick. I am still riding the put me through the table Bills Mafia bandwagon, that y'all are going to get the job done and get your asses to SoFi, okay? So talk to me about what needs to happen on Monday night.
What needs to happen on Monday night is the Bills need to shut down the run. Here it is. Every time the Bills play, I guess, a perennial running back or running team, they don't do well. All right? They didn't do well against Derrick Henry in Tennessee. They didn't do well against the Indianapolis Colts. And one thing we do know for sure, that New England's going to run that football. That's just their mantra. They're going to run the football. They're going to be physical at the point of attack on both sides. But, they are definitely going to run the football. And you just got to make Mac Jones beat us. If he's supposed to be that quarterback to be Mr. Dink and Dunk, let's see if he can throw the ball down the field. So the keys to it is basically shutting down the run game. And that's going to be a tough task for the Bills to do. I asked Coach McDermott and Coach Frazier, about that sweep that New England do so well. And they do it on both sides of the ball. So they are well aware of what the New England Patriots possess in the run game. And I think that, they'll be up for the challenge. Hopefully we'll get Starler Tulele back, a guy that, that has a presence inside. And, they just have to get after the quarterback. So I'll load that damn box up and I send as much pressure as possible, because you have to make up for the loss of Tre'Davious White. And, so look for the Bills to be a little bit more aggressive and blitz a little bit more on Monday night.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the greats, Mr. Mookie Hawkins, Wolfo Sports up there in Buffalo, covers the Buffalo Bills. Man, I saw you was coaching a little bit ago, my brother. Happy holidays to you. Please be safe. We look forward to having you back on Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Enjoy the holidays.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here tonight. From all of us at Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel, happy holidays. We will see you next Thursday. Get excited for that Thursday night matchup, because I need the Saints to win. Your man, Eric Wilson, Sideline Sports Network and the Sports Arena. Peace.
Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.